Welcome to the Verses of Life, where military resilience meets professional clarity and faith overcomes chaos. Get battle-tested wisdom with biblical insight to triumph through growth. Now for your host, Dr. Veronica Seitz.
Welcome to another episode of the Verses of Life, where military protocol mates with chaos to calm the storm. I am Veronica Seitz, your host, and you're going to be delighted with today's guest. I have Chris Lopez with the Marine Corps League, and I have Ryan Holloway with Veterans in Business. So we're going to have a conversation today about what is available, what we can do to improve transition, and how you can plug in, get connected, and also be aware of what is available to progress your journey forward in wellness, health, and progression. I'm Veronica Seitz. Thank you for being here, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity.
You're both Marines. I appreciate, I appreciate the culture, the Corps, the everything. As I mentioned to you, I've got a brother that's Marine too, so that's near and dear to my heart. Talk to me, Chris, about what is the Marine Corps League doing? You're part of the Longhorn Detachment, which is out of Tarrant County, and there are many chapters. So tell us a little bit about the Marine Corps League for those that don't know.
Yeah, we're out of Crowley, Texas. We have a house there where we usually meet every Tuesday at 6 p.m. And what happens there is a lot of great planning to serve the community. When we get out, a lot of us, we miss that being goal-oriented, mission accomplishment. Right, and our Marine Corps League focuses on doing exactly that, but for the community. And the way we do it is by hosting several events, one of them being a golf tournament, where last year we were actually able to raise a substantial amount of funds and donate $20,000 to an organization called Wheelchairs for Kids. And not just that, we were able to have a local kid that was in need, that needed a wheelchair, and these are specialized wheelchairs that these kids need. Come to the golf tournament, and we were able to present him with one of those wheelchairs, and that's pretty powerful.
Yes, it is.
You feel like you're making a difference again as a Marine versus maybe just getting a 9-to-5 job where you're making money. And this year we're even looking at partnering with Cook's Children's Hospital to be a beneficiary for the upcoming golf tournament. That's going to be in June. Another event that we do that goes to help out the community is the school supply drive. We get some live music out there. A lot of these guys are veterans out there playing their guitars, singing, and some great entertainment. And all we ask is for people to bring school supplies, or they can donate funds. And then from there, we use those funds to buy more school supplies. After that, we get the message out to the kids and the families, hey, come to our detachment, bring your list, and we're going to do our best to fill up that whole list. Usually we can fill up about 90% of that list. Another thing that our detachment does, we like to stay busy. We're quite active.
Productive.
Toys for Tots, which is Jack, another member from the Marine Corps League, has done a great job with it. And so far, since we started helping out with Toys for Tots, we've raised over 13,000 toys, going to about 7,500 kids.
So I'm going to tell you something, Chris, before your era, and I know it's before your era, Nat King Cole had this very, very well-known song to those of us that know the song, that was Toys for Tots. The joy in living is in the giving, so give lots of toys for tots. That's a song I grew up listening to. It became embedded in me, and I have, as a child, I can't remember a Christmas that I wasn't taught to give. And the Toys for Tot has moved through generations, through eras, and that is one thing that I just want to give you that, because you are carrying on a legacy through the Marine Corps League that really does seek to meet and continue to serve. And that is a very, not only a noble cause, but if I heard you correctly, that's something that's very beneficial to health, wellness, and progressing once you separate from service. Did I understand that correctly?
Absolutely, you're correct. Because again, we all feel like we're making a difference when we're in the service. And when you separate, it hurts more than you would think to not feel like you're making a difference. And You sometimes don't know how to handle it. You can go into isolation. You think you're alone. You're lost. And when you join an organization that's making a difference, you feel like you're getting that back. Not just that, the brotherhood, the sisterhood, family, because we're all dedicated to the same purpose, and you don't feel alone again.
Love that. Love that. Now, you and Ryan met through an organization or a group, a community, Veterans in Business. So tell me a little bit about what that looks like for somebody that may be either ready to transition, soon to be transitioning out, or is just starting out from military, whatever that space or separation look like, into the marketplace, because that separation from protocol, unit, familiarity, the lanes, understanding what, who, where, and what time you've got to be there, now to the, I don't know, nobody knows their lane, and how the heck do I function with a bunch of civilians that really, it seems like, I liken it to this. So many times I hear it, and I get the word picture of it's like dropping somebody that is very structured on a 6-lane highway with a bunch of drunk drivers coming at you. Doesn't feel good. Doesn't feel good.
Good similarity.
So tell me how Veteran in Business has both helped you both, but also what does Veteran in Business do?
So I would say primarily we exist just to, replace that void. When you get out, and you've heard it time and time again, but my last duty station, I was there for 4 years, and primarily with the same guys and girls the whole time. So you create a bond, you create a family. Some you like, some you don't, just like a real family. But we all had a mission, we had goals, we knew what we needed to succeed. And when you leave the military, you don't have that anymore. It is a void. And I think the thing I missed the most was just that connection and that camaraderie. So when we started Veterans in Business, 14 years ago, almost to the month, it was intended to rebuild that community locally here with veterans, focused on the professionals, so the people that have successfully started businesses, who can help mentor, who can help connect the guys and girls as they're getting out of the service. In that time frame, we've built relationships with a ton of local veteran service organizations. So people will come along that need help, and we know that we can put them on the right path and connect them with people that will take care of them, that will do the right thing by them. And we've got people that have been involved with this from day one, and a lot of people come and go. They found what they needed, they're in a better place, and they move on. But for me personally, the 2 days I look forward to the most each month are when we have our monthly lunches. And then we also have a monthly service project where we go in South Dallas and help a food bank that focuses on veterans and military active duty. And the thing that helps me the most mentally is just getting out, doing the work alongside other veterans.
I love that. The commonality is the journey. You are actually guides to the navigation. You're part of a navigation system that actually meets somebody, because that separation is exactly what it says. It's a separation. Yeah. Instead of knowing where your unit is, where home base is, where your platoon is, now you're out. You're not rogue, you're out. You've got to seek and find the peer connection. And what I'm hearing is what both organizations provide is a peer support environment to move the ball forward with wellness, with those that are in the like space of life, as well as in the same direction of mission. What is it that somebody can do to connect with you? Like, Chris, tell us, is it limited to Tarrant County if you're out of the Longhorn Detachment, or how does it work? There's different chapters, so help me understand that.
Yeah, there's a website for the Marine Corps League.
Okay.
That can help you locate different detachments. There's one in Fort Worth. We're out of Crowley. A lot of our members are out of the Burleson Johnson County. Mm-hmm. So if you go on the Marine Corps League website, you can actually find a local detachment, and they're everywhere.
Okay.
There's everywhere. There's one in Denton, another one in Dallas. They're everywhere, and they're all doing their best to give back,
Okay.
which is extremely important.
And you and Ryan both are hosts. Now you're the co-founder of Veteran in Business, but you have a monthly meeting in Dallas.
Correct.
And then you host and facilitate one in Fort Worth. So Ryan, tell me about Dallas. What day do you meet? Where can they connect with you? And then Chris, let us know about Fort Worth.
Yep. So we actually post all of our events on, we use meetup.com,
Okay.
which is, it's an online calendaring system at the end of the day. So our Dallas lunch is the second Wednesday of every month in the Addison area. And we've got people coming from 20 miles away, all directions. We meet at the original Pancake House. They're big time veteran supporters. They have a giant conference room in the back that they let us use for free, no cost. And we've been there probably 12 of our 14 years. But, you know, we have monthly volunteer opportunities, socials, et cetera. Everything gets posted on the meetup.com website. You can just search for Veterans in Business. We're also posting on all the social media channels. So search for Veterans in Business. You will find us, but I'll let Chris speak to the Fort Worth group.
Okay.
For the Fort Worth one, we actually meet close to downtown Fort Worth, the Old South Pancake House off University, every third Thursday of the month at 11:45 to 12:45. Usually goes a little longer because we're having a good time. But we focus there. It's the same template that they do out of Dallas, where we go around the room, introduce each other. Then we always have a business owner talk about their journey, which will hopefully help out some of the newer business owners there, and a nonprofit there that always talks. And that's how we're able to connect. And I think that's a huge thing because I didn't have that when I got out,
Okay.
and I needed it desperately for a while. I was in a rough place.
Okay. And that's not uncommon. So the transition is going to be what it is for the individual veteran. One of the things that we try to facilitate here with the Verses of Life is that you are one choice from a radically different outcome. So we present to you guests that can give you the lifeline, the opportunities, the connections to what will be beneficial to you, but also the community. You're not made to live in isolation or to suffer in silence. What you have is the opportunity to connect, to collaborate, and to continue the mission in a different way, but always with the support and the resources that are available in the community. I thank y'all. I appreciate what y'all are doing. I have one question, because Veteran in Business and transition have a parallel time frame that seems to be, it's fascinating to me. I'm leaning into it and researching more about it because of the space I occupy in transformation and trauma specialty. And that is, when you start a business, there is the phrase that's called the Death Valley, which is 3 to 5 years to get out of the red and into the profitable black. And you've got 3 to 5 years. And that's the time where many businesses either close their doors or fold.
Yep.
Or they progress through and they make it. And once you make it through that 3 to 5 years, you're going to be in a position to scale and expand.
Right.
Is there anything that, in your experience, both as a business owner, but also Chris specifically, like you mentioned that it was rough coming out, and I don't know what your process is in the 3 to 5 years, but tell me about that, because I am fascinated by the fact that this is a space where oftentimes the suffering in silence does lead to detrimental behavior, life threat. And I am all about suicide prevention and life sustainment. So we address the elephant in the room, and what you are doing is actually rolling out the red carpet to sustain life. But this is a space that actually exists as a high risk for individuals that are transitioning out of any type of first response position.
Right.
And so tell me a little bit about that, and either one of y'all can go first.
So what we do, first off, is the networking piece, where if a business is struggling, we have people like that are business coaches that help you, put you in the right direction, help structure you the way you need to be, get you a commercial banker that maybe you need more funding for your business because, like you said, when you get out and transition, it's difficult, and running a business is extremely difficult. And you might already be getting out with, well, most of us are getting out with a lot of issues, and it doesn't help when you think your business is going to fail. So again, like you mentioned, we kind of rolled out that red carpet and we're like, look, you're not in this alone. There's programs like Combined Arms that can help you that can help possibly with funding for your business or different things of that nature.
Well, and I think it's twofold as well. It's on the individual side also, and with organizations like the Marine Corps League or more community type groups like Veteran in Business, we're giving people hopefully an opportunity to not isolate, to get involved with a like-minded community, so they can shed some of that baggage and hopefully excel, and through other members of that community can also find the resources that they need, make friends, make business partners, whatever it may be. But when I got out, I really struggled. I landed in corporate America, which was night and day from the Marine Corps, and it was very cutthroat. I saw that pretty immediately. I didn't really trust a lot of people because I saw what they were doing to each other. And it took a while, but that eventually led to me starting my own business and also starting Veteran in Business. So we could start to build a trusted community for people like myself, and hopefully they don't struggle like some of us did when we first got out because we were lost.
Yeah, and similar to that, when I first got out, I felt lost, but I just pushed everything down, right? I didn't want to talk to anyone because then I thought I was going to be looked at as weak. And I thought I was going to be law enforcement. I did everything right while I was in preparing, which was difficult. I got my bachelor's in criminal justice, thought I was going to do law enforcement, and then a manager job showed up that was going to pay me a good amount of money. It was better for my family and benefits. And I performed really well there, but I always felt lost. I didn't feel, we would say at the end of the day, we're just moving boxes, right, to make money. And then we had an HR exercise where the host would pull out a label and we would all say the first thing that came to mind. And there was labels such as like single mom, right? And then everybody would answer. And then the label veteran came up, and I expected people to say, hard worker, something like that. But instead, the room was filled with negative words such as killers, drunks, like to fight. A couple people said heroes, but then at that moment, I had only been out about a year, and I just paused and was like, is that what they think of me? And it honestly further pushed me into a depression mode. And it was like a few months later, another buddy of ours had taken his life, and we were in a group chat talking about it, and one of the Marines sends out a video by a journalist, Sebastian Junger, and he's talking about how society views us and that makes us view ourselves that way. And once I understood that concept just from that video, something clicked, and I was like, I do not have to be or conform to what they think of me. And that's why these groups are so important, because there's plenty of business networking groups on the civilian sector, but they don't understand or sometimes even care as much as we do and take care of each other. I can't tell you how much Ryan or even Randy Watkins, another one of the co-founders, has done for me. And I don't think I would have found something like that outside of the Marine Corps League, Veterans in Business, or the great veteran organizations like that.
There's an interesting phenomenon that happens, and this is going to sound like it doesn't relate, but it actually does. When there is a twin pregnancy and one survives and the other one doesn't, the survivor is always looking around. The infant, nonverbal, totally dependent child is looking around because they've been together in the entire experience of the womb. And this is what I find and recognize happens. You know your unit, you know whom you trust, you know who is close to you in proximity, that gap of moving to the predictable, known, familiar, not just, I won't say comfortable because it's not comfortable to be in service. It's we adapt, we adjust, we get the skills,
You
the
get used
drills.
to it, yeah.
It's a way of life. However, when everything is taken away from you, there's a sense in which you're really coming out from that safety into the totally unknown. And the unknown is you need to find where your connection is. I would much rather find, and it's interesting because I see myself doing this. I look around a room, I'll look around a crowd, I can find my people. I'm like, that's a responder. That's military. I mean, we recognize our own, and I will position over, and I'm just waiting for that moment because connection is such an important part. We need community.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I heard both of you say is the trust component. Stephen Covey wrote this book called The Speed of Trust, and where veterans really close the gap on that speed of trust is get in the room. If you don't know where the room is, create the room yourself and create the community that brings the veterans, because we know what to expect from each other. It's safer to know somebody is not going to do what corporate America does to you, because what a lot of people don't understand is, yes, in networks that are non-veteran, the phrase is like and trust. Well, if I can't trust you, I don't like that. I'm not sure if I like you. And if I don't like you, I'm certainly not liking the attitude of it's us and them, when the actuality is, one of my dear space of honor and respect for Marines, not over any other branch, is, Semper Fi. It's, always faithful. And there is a foundation of faith, whatever that may be, shaken or standing or crumbled or solid. The thing is, when there is a foundation that you can count on, you can build up from there. But when it is broken and shaken, it's very, very difficult to even know, how do I build trust when what I'm hearing isn't speaking life? It's actually pouring salt on wounds they don't even know I have. And so I'm gonna ask you both individually, Chris, as the leader of your detachment, or one of the leaders within your detachment, I want you to look into that camera. I want you to speak to the person that may not be connected at this point. And I use the phrase speak life into them, because you are the voice that will call them out of where they might be in silence or isolation. And we want you to build that bridge for connection. It's always up to you to make that move.
Absolutely. For anyone and most of us, again, are feeling the same way when we get out, we start to feel lost, we feel alone, in isolation. I encourage you to come out. I actually didn't want to join the Marine Corps League initially until I was dragged out there, and it's been life-changing for me. I feel like I found family again with them, and again, making a difference in the community. You're not alone. We've all felt that way, and I promise you, coming out to just checking out one of our events and meeting some of the folks that make up this organization is going to make you want to be part of that organization, and will make you better. So I encourage you guys to seek us out. We're on all the social media platforms, and I promise that you won't regret it. Helping others is going to help yourself as well.
Thank you. And Ryan, I want you to look into that camera, and I
Okay.
want you to speak life to the person that is just not even sure if they're going to start a business, but they're trying to make that determination.
Sure. So for those out there that are lost and considering entrepreneurship, or just not sure where to go, recently transitioned, find a local veterans group. It doesn't have to be veterans in business, but there's so many out there. But find that community, surround yourself with positive influences, talk through things, grab lunch, grab coffee, connect with other veterans where you can, shed that baggage, get rid of it, and move forward. But I can't say enough about just finding a veterans group of some sort, whether it's a running group, a business-focused group, a volunteer group, but surround yourself with positive influences, those that have served and that are maybe a couple years ahead of you, but they can bring you along and they want to help. We all join the military to serve the country. you can continue to serve. You just gotta find those groups and engage, but don't sit at home. Get involved and continue to serve the community or your country or yourself. But get out and find your people.
Excellent. Thank you both for being here today. I really appreciate and encourage you. Continue what you're doing. We're marching forward, and we are stronger together.
100%.
Okay. I'm Veronica Seitz. I want to thank you for being part of this episode today, because as a listener, you are an integral part of it. You're one decision from a radically different life. I pray and I hope that you choose beneficial, expansion, and the possibilities within you, because unknown doesn't have to be uncertain. The unknown is the navigation that you have to move into the potential within you. The initiative that I promote is Homefront Valor. It is building the bridge of the gap between service and survival to learning to thrive and come alive at different levels, because service and separation from it doesn't identify you. You are an integral part of the world, and we're glad you're in it. Stay.
This has been The Verses of Life, where warriors and professionals live life on purpose, silence doubt, and lead with action. Stay strong, stay grounded, and remember, growth through pain reveals a greater purpose. Stay. The world needs you.